welcome back. So in today's tutorial we'll be looking on various methods with respect to string in JavaScript. We have already covered a series where we have defined different methods on array. So today we'll be focusing on string. So for the demo purpose we'll be using Explore as an editor, and you can use this method across your ServiceNow experience, right? Across your requirements. So this will be the editor for today's tutorial. So let's first understand what is string in JavaScript. So strings are text that helps in holding data that can be represented. Okay. So a JavaScript string stores a series of characters like my name is Amit. Okay. A string can be any text inside a double quotes or single quote. For example, if I write variable or I can give str equal to name is Amit. Okay. Now this turns out to be a string. Now we will be playing around this string and we will explore various methods with respect to strings which are present in JavaScript. So let's go. Let's start with the first method, which is charAt. Okay. This particular method returns a character at the specified index. String in JavaScript has zero-based indexing. Okay. So for example, we will consider this string. Now if I want to get, if I give gs.info, okay, I want to check character at index 1 or character at index 5. So I can simply go str dot character at and I can simply give the index on which I have to check. So let's start with 0, okay, and we will run it out. So we can see on 0th index we have m. Okay, I will zoom out somewhat. So on 0 index we have m. In the similar way, if I put 5, then it will return small m. Okay. So this is how it goes. Now let's move to the next method, which is charCodeAt. So what is the difference between charAt and charCodeAt? The charCodeAt gives this method returns a number that represents the Unicode value of the character at the specified index. So for example, we have given here 5. Okay. So what is the Unicode value of 5? Okay, it will give that value. Okay. So we will simply modify this particular function only to get character. It's character code. Right? And if I run this out, okay, now let me do the change. Okay. I will just, for the comparison purpose, I will do Ctrl Z and I will paste it over here. So you can see the difference between both. If I run this out, now you can see, you will be seeing, the character at 5th index is m and the Unicode value for m is 109. So that's how it works. Now moving on to the third method, which is concat. So this method combines the text of two strings and returns a new combined or joint string, you can say. Okay. To concat two strings, we have to use this concat function. Okay. So let's define one more string. I will give variable str2 and I will give it a name. I will give it in single quotes so that particular confusion will also get started. My channel name is Technomog. Done. And now we'll be using a function or method called concat. So how we can do that? We have to do gs.info. Now we want to concat this to string. So you can simply do str. Okay. str dot, so first string dot concat, and then we can give string second. So str2 will end. Okay. And if I run this out now, so it should give the combined string. So you can see my name is Amit and my channel name is Technomode. So it gives us the combined string. Now moving on to the next string, okay, which is end with. So what end with function do? This method checks whether a string ends with a specified string or character. Okay. So and it returns a boolean value. So for example, my first string ends with Amit. Okay. So what we will do, we will simply give gs.info. I will start adding at the top. Okay. Most of the string method you must be not aware about. Okay. So you can go through it. So ends with gs.info, and now we have to check first string str dot end with. Now we will be checking first. I will just give some random string called, for example, let's say xyz. Does it ends with xyz? If I run this out, so it should return false because it's not ending a xyz, right? If I now give Amit, okay, so let's see if it returns true. So if I run it again, and now it has given true. Perfect. Now moving on to the next function, which is include. So what include function defines? So include function, this method checks whether the string variable contains specified string or not. Okay. So for example, in the string first, my name is Amit, we have to check whether name is present or not, right? So it will read, it's a boolean return function. So if the string is present, then it will say true, as it will say false. So for example, if I want to go, if I want to check gs.info, I will add again. And if I want to check what if str dot includes, we will again go with xyz. And try it out. So it returns false because str doesn't include xyz, right? Now if I change it to name, and if I run it again, now it will return true because it includes name as a string, right? Moving on to the next method, which I think most of you will be aware about, is index of. So what this method does? This method returns the index of first occurrence of given query string. Okay, and if that particular string is not present in the provided string, then it returns -1. That means in a given character or string, the provided character or string is not present. Okay, so let's give it a start. So we will simply go with gs.info again, and we will check str dot, we'll check index of what? We will check again the index of xyz. And if I go and exit, so it doesn't include xz, right? So it should return -1. So you can consider -1 is like the string is missing. Now if I go with is, right? So if I give is, and if I rerun it out, then it shows it's present at index 8. Let's count it out. M1 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See? So this way it works. Now let's move to the next method. We are going pretty quick. Okay. The next method is repeat. So what this method does? This method returns string with the number of copies of the existing string. Okay. This method accepts single parameter number that holds how many times you want to copy that particular string of. So for example, I want to copy this string, my name is Amit, because I'm really fond of myself 10 times. So what I can do is gs.info, okay, and I can do str.repeat. How many times you want to repeat? So I'll give 10 times. And if I run this out, then it has written my name is Amit 10 times. Okay, let's verify it out. Control F. And if I search Amit, you can see 2 times here and 10 times here. So it gave the count of 12 times. Perfect till now. So the next method in our list is replace. So this method returns a string with the changes. This method is a case sensitive. Okay. So you have to pass 2 parameters out. The one which you want to change and the second with which you want to change that particular string. So if I want to change my name from Amit to what? Amit Gujarati. So I can simply go and I can do gs.info. I can do str.replace. So this function holds 2 arguments, right? So the first argument will be, and it's a case sensitive. So we will give Amit. And the second argument with which you want to replace the string. So here I will give Amit Gujarati. Okay. And if I run this out now, so it should replace the string Amit to Amit Gujarati. If I run this out, you can see the string got turned into my name is Amit Gujarati. Moving on to the next method. The next method we have is search. So what exactly search means? This search method specifies this method search for specified value or regular expression. This method returns the position of the match if it's found, and if it's not found, then it will give -1 as the previous method index of. Okay, this method is also case sensitive. Okay, so let's give it a try. So for example, let's take the second string. So if I go gs.info and if I go str2.search, search what? If I check for Technomonk and if I run, so sorry, I think I made some mistake. Okay, I missed a code. It gave 19. That means it is located at 19 index. If I change it out to Technomonk, right, which is not a valid string, then it should return -1. You can see over here. So it's working as expected. Moving on to the next method. These methods are pretty easy to understand, but for the beginners, this is must to understand these things out. That's why I'm creating this tutorial. So search is done. Now the next method. The next method is slice. Okay. What this method does, this method extracts a part of the string and returns a new string. Okay. So this particular method accepts 2 arguments. One is the start index. What is the start index? These parameters hold the index from where you want to extract, and the second one is end index. This particular parameter signifies that on which particular index you want to end it out. So for example, if I go gs.info, if I go str2.slice, now we have to provide the character. So we'll provide character 1, 2, 3 from third character till 7th character. I want to slice this particular string out. If I run this out, then it has given CHAN. Okay, so from 3rd to 7th, 4 characters. Perfect. If I'm not giving the second argument only, if I try to run, then what it does, it will consider the first character and the end will be the end of the string. Clear? Now moving on to the next method, which is split. So what split does? This split method split the string into an array of substrings. So basically when you want to create an array out of a string, okay, you can use the split method. This method returns array. Okay. So for example, I want to break this particular line into my name is Amit as a 4 arguments of array. So what you can do, gs dot info, and we can give str2 dot split, and on which basis we want to split, so we will give space, right? We will give and run. So you can see it got converted into an array. My channel name is Technomon. So this is very useful when we want to convert a string or comma separated string into an array. I use this a lot, okay, because I store all the, for example, we have a client script where I want to make all the mandatory fields as read only, the tutorial which we have created 2 days back. Then we are storing all the strings as comma separated and I convert it on an array on the fly. So this is done. Split. Now the next method is start with. So this method checks if a string starts with a given query of string. Okay. If it starts with that particular thing, then it gives true, else it returns false. The way we had ends with, right? In the similar way it starts with. So for example, if I go gs.info, I want to check if str2 dot starts with str2 starts with my name, which is Amit. Is it this thing? If I run it out, so it returns false because it didn't start with my name. Okay. If I select my and if I check if it's getting started with my, if I run this out, then it will return true because it started getting started with that name, right? So this was starts with. Now what else method we have? Oh, okay. The other method is to lowercase. So this method converts all the character present in the string to lowercase and returns a new string with all the characters in lowercase. Okay. So for example, if I want to convert this particular string, my name is Amit, to a lowercase. So how exactly I do? I will simply do gs.info and I can do str2 dot to lowercase. Okay. If I run this out, so you can see everything got converted into small case, right? In this similar way, we have one more method called convert to uppercase. So the method name is to uppercase, and this particular method converts all the character present in a string to uppercase and returns a new string with all the characters in uppercase. So we have to just replace this lower to upper, and if I run it out, then it has converted the string into all uppercase characters. Perfect. Now where exactly I use this also quite frequently because when I want to make my logic case insensitive, right? So what I do, I either convert it to whatever user is providing as a value. I either convert it to lowercase or uppercase, and then I do all the comparison for the same. Okay, so it depends on your use cases. Now the next method which I use a lot, okay, is stream. So what this stream method is used to remove either white space from the given string. This method gives a new string, okay, with the removal of white space. So for example, in the start and end of the string, okay, as it will combine all the characters. So for example, the string one is my name is Amit, and if I give spaces like this, okay, so if I want to, and if I do gs dot info, and if I do str dot length, which is another function to calculate the length of the string, okay. If I run this out, now you can see it's 24 character string because it has included the white space also. Now if I want to remove the white space, because it's not always visible to anyone, right? So in order to avoid this kind of errors, we should always use string, okay, whenever storing certain data. So if I use string, so I will do gs dot info, and I will do str dot trim, okay. So it has written the string. I'm not sure whether it has white space or not. So let's do the length on the same. If I run, then you can see there was around 9 characters of white space over here. So it has removed that 9 characters. Good. So this was the basic function which I feel which is very important for any beginner developer to understand with respect to string. Okay. We have already created a series with higher order functions on array. Okay. And I will be trying to create a few basic function tutorials also on the array because I got a lot of requests on the same. So please drop a comment if you want to see certain videos in the future. Okay, till then, stay safe, stay happy, and have a nice day.